Alrighty, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to today's live stream. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing as many live streams. I mean, right now, they're after these special elections, they're not going to be that many in the near future. In March, we have a bunch of primaries, and then kind of April, May, it kind of gets a little bit slow. So that's one of the reasons why I probably won't be doing as much. But we do have some elections that I have been talking about for a while. So I've been talking about these special elections in Florida for a while. I've been talking about special elections in Florida in general because we've had this really interesting dynamic of seeing Democrats actually doing quite well in Republican districts. And I think today is going to be we're finally going to start seeing, is this a real trend in Florida? If we all of a sudden see that the Democrats can compete in these three districts tonight, which I think they can, we really have to ask ourselves, is Florida competitive for the general election? It could be. We'll see how this works. So for tonight, we got the Florida election night, the E-Night. I don't even think they call it E-Night anymore, but their website. So we'll be looking at the official results there. Polls close in 23 minutes. In Florida, there's always an early vote dump right off the bat in all of the counties. Now, Hillsborough should be okay, pretty fast at counting. So that Senate District 14, we should probably know pretty quickly. Polk County is going to take a little bit more time. Palm Beach County is a friggin' nightmare, but they should have their early vote dump up soon. Now, let's go ahead and start looking at the state of things as of this moment. So we're going to look at the turnout right now because we do have the turnout rate. So this is the most updated one. Actually, there should be one. We'll wait just a second. Okay. There should be one right here. So let's look at party and type. So this is the 14th state house district. We can see that the Republicans, the turnout rate, or not turnout rate, but the composition of the electorate for the Republicans in state Senate District 14 is 46.19%. That's kind of high if you're the Democrats. And if the Democrats lose this one, this was purely a pickup opportunity that they would let slip through their fingers. So we'll see what's happening here. But it is coming to the point right now, if the Democrats want to win this, they need all the Democratic votes and essentially all of the non-party affiliated and other votes. So that's where that's at. If we go ahead and look at House District 51, this is the one in Polk County over by Davenport, Auburndale, along I-4, goes up to the Four Corners, which is where Orange County, Osceola, Lake, and Polk meet. We can see that the Republicans are already at 50% of the composition. So if every Republican just simply votes Republican, then they should win. But remember that Jimmy Petronis, Congressional District 1 that I keep on talking about, that wasn't enough. So we'll see. And then if we go over to House District 87, this is the one that's Donald Trump's state house district. Apparently he actually voted in it, and apparently he voted by mail, even though he's telling everybody that that's a fraud or whatever. As we can see here, the Democrats are significantly closer. So this could be their biggest pickup. Now, this district has had a few numbers over the years, and we're going to go ahead and look at those districts in just a second here. But this could be a huge pickup for the Democrats. I think it would just be, even just as a messaging note, just to say the Democrats won Donald Trump's home district. And we got to look at this district as not just being Donald Trump's district, it probably is one of the highest per capita state house districts that there is in Florida. There are probably some in downtown Miami that are more, but this one's going to be very, very high, and it's old money too. All right, so we do have again decision death Desk HQ. That's what we're going to use maybe for our votes tonight, but chances are we're going to just use eNight mostly here. So we got 1 more minutes. Let me look at the super chat. So if anyone wants to do a super chat, be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for the support. John, thank you very much for the support. All this and Dems are only 5 points ahead in the generic ballot. I think it may be time to move to Canada. I love Canada, though I might move to Australia. There is a deal right now that they're working on that they're allowing they're saying they're going to allow 4 or 5 years. I think it might be 4 years, visa-free working and everything between European Union citizens and Australian citizens. So European Union citizens can go to Australia and vice versa. And if that ends up passing, I'm going to Melbourne. Or maybe I go to Perth. Maybe I go to Perth, get some West Coast Eagles season tickets. That would be a dream, but I do want to go to Melbourne Cricket Grounds. Anyway, let's go through these districts. Okay, so we're just going to start with 2024. So we're going to start with the state Senate district here. Now I talked about this already in my video that I did today. So we're going to go ahead and look at what we have here. So you can see in 2022, you can see that both DeSantis and Rubio won this district, 55.8%. And that was a very, very strong Democratic or Republican year. So the Democrats don't need much of a swing here. Now, I'll go ahead. You'll probably remember all this. If you watch my video, I'm going to repeat a lot of what I said, but for those people who are watching now, you might not have seen the video that I did earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and catch everybody up to date on what there is. You see a lot of red there. But if you go ahead and jump over to the voter registration balance here, watch right here. It gets all blue. So these are all precincts in 2022, and the voter registration balance isn't much different nowadays. Let's go over to 2024. So the voter registration, a few more have gotten a little bit more red, but you still have this blue here. And then if we look at how Donald Trump did in these precincts as well, you can see there's a lot of red here. Slight red, but red nonetheless. So what this means is that Democrats have been losing in places that are typically Democratic in the past. Now, if we go ahead, let me go ahead and see if there's anything with turnout rates concerned. Now, the turnout rates are pretty good in here, but you can see the turnout rates a little bit less here than, let's say, the stronger Republican areas of the of the district. So that is that's something to watch. All right, let me go ahead. We'll go back to the governor's race. So overall, if the Democrats want to win, they need to win this core, this heart right here. They need to win votes here. Out here is not going to be much. Over here by University of South Florida, it's down here, but you do have the areas in and around there. Those are going to be Democratic areas as well. So this is what we're going to watch for in District 14. Now, if we go over to House District 51, this is the one that Democrats will probably not win, especially after we saw that 50% or over 50% now of the composition being registered Republicans. We can again see that there's a lot of Republicans. Now, this district is kind of split in half. You kind of have the Davenport area over here, which has built quite a bit over the last 15 years. So in and around here, in and around Davenport, US 27 here, there used to be just like nothing. Like you used to have boardwalk and baseball back in the day, like right here and stuff. And then there wasn't much here. This area has grown tremendously. And yes, you do have some areas that have gone Republican, but you do have Democratic areas as well. So let's go ahead and look at the voter registration of Let's look at 2024 voter registration. Okay, well, let's look at this. This is Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. So you can see a little bit of changing in here. See how this is darker red? As soon as we change over to 2024, we can see it even getting bluer here, right? Now, if we look at voter registration, we can see a lot of the areas here have a plurality of nonpartisan affiliated voters. But if you look at these precincts, they're almost like 33, 33, 33. So we do have this one has a plurality of NPA and other voters, but it's a lot less Democratic. If we go over here, we do see the Democrats in the 20s. This isn't a surprise. And if we look at a lot of the analysis I have for 2024, we can see that the perceived nonpartisan affiliated voters usually break 58.6% to the Democrats. So even though these are mostly NPA voters, you can see the Democratic split is high. So yes, having Democrats turning out to vote will help, but as long as they got non-party affiliated voters turning out as well, that is going to help them. Now, that doesn't help them over here in Auburndale and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, we see that this Auburndale, these are very Republican districts, and a lot of registered Democrats probably flip over to the Republican side. So this area is very, very Republican. So this map right here gives you a pure idea. Oh yeah, and we do have Haines City down here, which is much more Democratic. I forgot to mention Haines City. Technically, they used to say Haines City went all the way up to where Boardwalk and Baseball was here. But now that's all taken in by Davenport. But you do see the pure divide is, you see the pure divide right here. So this is going to be a split district, but what we're looking at right now with turnout numbers here, it's going to update in just a second. Let's see, 50.76. Let's see, 50.76, 50.32. So it looks like the late people turning out on election day now are significantly more Democratic. Let's see. Yeah, these are already updated. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. Now let's go ahead and look at District 87, Donald Trump State House District. All right, let me get some tea here. I have started drinking more and more tea, and I love it. All right, so this district's a little bit different than what it used to be in the past. Now, this district used to go along the coast and then come down either into the Green Acres area or down here by Lake Worth Beach, and others become more Democratic. But now what they've done is they've added this whole part to the north part of district. Doesn't go as far as Jupiter, but it is just south of Jupiter, and this is very, very Republican. So we're looking at voter registration now. So if we go ahead and look at the presidential election in Donald Trump's district, you can still see that it's very red here. Okay, where the Democrats do much better is in this part of the district, the south part, and then some parts that jet into West Palm Beach. So we actually do see that. If we look overall in 87, we can see Donald Trump won it 55-44. Let's see if we can, and if we look at DeSantis, we see he won with 58%. So, so this is very similar. The numbers are very similar to what we are seeing in the state Senate 14 race. So these are very, very similar numbers. Now, if we look at some of these precincts and just look at up here, you see they're not huge, bigly. They're not bigly for Trump, right? And if we're going to just look at that, so 51-48 here, okay. We got a few others, 52%, 56%, 53%, 54%. So these are the places, if we're going to look at the Democrats, let's get down into North Palm Beach, same thing, 55, 53. If the Democrats want to win this tonight, they need to push up their turnout in the blue precincts that we've already talked about, and then really push getting these flipped over. Let me see, voter registration balance. Yeah, so for the most part, all of the voter registration balance here is going to be along the same lines as the way that it votes. You do see a few here. You do see a few. Sorry, there's loud ass cars out here because fuckers have to have loud ass cars. Anyway, you can tell that annoys me. Anyways, these are about the only ones where we have a plurality of nonpartisan affiliated voters, but we're talking about precincts 161 votes, 191 votes, not that many. But remember, another thing about Palm Beach County is they have so many precincts. A lot of them are not huge. Now, here is where Mar-a-Lago is. So this is Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago is a very Republican. 37.9% of the people in the Mar-a-Lago precinct voted for Kamala Harris. But this is old money Florida right here. This is definitely old money Florida. So this is where we are. We got about, let's see, we got, why is it saying 20 minutes? Okay, there we go. I was like, why is it saying 20 minutes? It's definitely not 20 minutes, like 5 minutes until it's time for polls to close. So yeah, so this is the state of things right now. So the Democrats have an outside chance of winning all three. And what we're seeing in House District 3 and Congressional District 1 last year, it's possible. I will say, however, I do believe that the Democrats are not doing as well in the 2026 special elections as they did in the 2025 special and general elections, right? Because we are general scheduled elections, because we had New Jersey, we had Virginia. Don't have anything like that now. So, yeah. So yeah, so we'll just wait for these to come in. Well, let's see. So we got state senate here. Then we got state representative. Yep. Okay, good. I think 51 only goes into Polk County. It might go into Osceola or Orange. Nope, it only goes into Polk County. Okay. So we will see what happens here. This is, I mean, I still have this here, but it's not really going to matter. As a matter of fact, what I should do before we start, I should probably get Hillsborough County and Polk. Because a lot of times those will show some maps. Elections. Special election. Let's see if they have something for results. Unofficial turnout. Nope. I want results. Just going to see if I can find results real quick on here. So I don't want to wait too long because we're gonna get. Hello, Jay. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for being on board. So. Okay, no. Let's go. It's like Hillsborough has always had a flashy looking website, but kind of horrible when it comes to actually navigating it. Election. Oops, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I want to do either. Sorry, I'm just keeping this up. I guess we'll go over to here just so we have the countdown instead of looking at the other stuff. Hillsborough County elections. Results. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at, but Geez, really? They're not showing the current results? Okay, let me go over to Polk County. I wonder if Lori Edwards is still the supervisor in Polk County. Okay, Polk County elections. Is it still Lori Edwards or is it somebody else? Because she used to be in the state house. Nope, Melanie Bell. So Lori Edwards is not there anymore. Okay, proceed to site. Okay, so we'll throw this up here. So this will give us a map. I don't know if it'll give us a map of the results. Oh, it says contest results. Okay, perfect. So that's awesome. Let's go to Palm Beach County. Let's see if we can get some elections, dates and deadlines, election results, unofficial results. Okay. Proceed to request material is not published. Jesus Christ. Okay. That's beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead. We got 43 seconds left. We'll see what happens. Dems won't win big, but they can win. Okay? And we're just waiting. I'm gonna see if I can get something from Hillsborough again. Come on, Hillsborough. All right, got our countdown going on. Election. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey. Okay. All right. So let's go to here. Let's start seeing if we get some vote dumps. I can't, if anyone can find a link. Hi from Orlando. I lived in Orlando for 20 years, Southwest Orlando. So I still kind of consider that my home. So we'll see here. We'll see what it'll be interesting to see how Polymarket does tonight. So, because if I am going to do a video, I might do it on Polymarket and how it's just absolutely screwing up left and right. All right. So, contest rules. Or rules, contest results. Jeez, can't even friggin' read today. Now, if I remember, Hillsborough can be late on their early vote dumps. Okay. This were Pasco, results would already, like almost all the results would already be up. Pasco is like lightning quick. Okay. So my guess is what they're just doing on here is they're just web scraping from that. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom out. Oh, and by the way, if people are wondering like what this is, where this map is, you will not be able to find it because I made it. It will be eventually available to clients, people who are running for public office and all that. Not cheap. It's going to be a very, very large dashboard. But that being said, I am planning on making a kind of like a smaller version of it with a $9.99 subscription fee that will have hopefully the United States where you can filter by state house, state Senate district, maybe some other districts that there are as well. So one of the reasons why I have not been on this channel and taken, a little bit late on my uploads on my history channel is that I'm going to be spending a lot of time working on that. Okay. I'm just going to go to summary results. So we don't have any early vote dumps. One thing is, yeah, see, that's staying at 50.32. So that tells me that no one's waiting in line. I mean, who's going to wait in line? It's a special election anyway. Okay, let's see if Hillsborough and Palm Beach have their shit together now. The request material is not published. It's like serious. Oh, results. Okay, results. Okay, results. Election night results. Request material is not published. God, Palm Beach needs to get their crap together. Let's go back to E-Night. Surprised not one of the counties doesn't have. I mean, I guess the 3 counties that we're seeing are kind of the slowest counties that there are. So we'll see what happens. Right now, numbers wise, 87 looks the best to flip. What does quote unquote Polymarket say for 87? 77%. Let's see how that holds. Yeah, so I worked on this. I was working on this right before we started. I've been working on this program the last 4 or 5 days intensively. So this is about 4 or 5 days worth of work. So it there will hopefully in March, or this is March. What the hell am I thinking? Hopefully in June, there'll be something available. And I only got Florida here because I'm building the program. There will be more. It all depends on the data that I can get. This year, this election is not the target year election. It's going to be 2028. That is the target. Okay, I'm still seeing if I can get something from. Nope. Palm Beach County still has a break in there. Let's see if I can get something. I'm just going to go over to here because, like I said, they're probably just web scraping and they'll have some numbers right away. But I'm just trying to see if I can get to elections results. Not 2025. I want 20. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so we do have some results in. Big results. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? Democrats winning 52.7 to 47.3 in state Senate District 20 or Jesus Christ, 14. So there we go. Yeah, they need to get their shit. Okay, so wait. Let's see what Polymarket has. Polymarket has it at 82%. Let's see how that works. Now, let's go over and look at what so we got election day votes. Election day votes are heavily Republican. Let's go to the percentages. Okay. But oh no, that's the percentage of the overall vote or of those parties' votes. No, okay, oh no, that's percentage. Let's go to raw votes again. So this could be close. But I'm going to do some quick calculations here, okay? Forgive me if I'm going to be, not talkative. Let me go over to, I'm kind of surprised. Maybe they do now. Yeah, they don't even have the dump on, let's see, has there been an early vote dump in, where did I put it? See, has there been an early vote dump here? No. Congratulations to Hillsborough for getting their dump out early. Okay. I don't care about the swing. Swings afterwards. I don't know what the last election results are, so I can't figure out the swing. So that's something I'm not going to focus on now. Let's wait till afterwards. Well, you know what? Let's go back to. Let's see if they have this early vote and vote by mail. See, okay, maps. Let's see. Okay, okay, just so you know, I don't think that we're having an election in the middle of Nepal. That's literally where the map popped up. Yeah. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is just reporting, but contest. Here we go. Okay, so we see Brian Nathan, right? What did I tell you, right? What did I tell you? I said this is where the Democrats need to hit the sweet spot. Right here. This was Jay Collins' district. I see someone was Jay Collins. He is now lieutenant governor. I said this, remember when we were looking over at the map? I was like, right, this was the let's go back to it. Let's go back to our tool here. Right? I said this was the sweet spot. Democrats had to win here. That's where they're hitting the sweet spot there. That's it. That is exactly where they need to do. And they're actually doing, Brian Nathan is doing quite well south over by MacDill Air Force Base. Wow. Okay, so essentially the Republicans, as of this moment, are just being banished into the outer edges of the district. So okay, let's see how Polymarket responds here. House 87. There we go. Let's see how Polymarket runs on this one. Coming into tonight, I had a feeling that Democrats could win 14 and 87. I felt that it would be close, but I felt the Democrats were the ones who were the favorites going into it. We don't have anything from Polk. I'm trying to see if I can get. Let's see if Palm Beach has their shit together finally. Ah, Palm Beach finally has their shit together here. All right. So, oh, they don't have a map here. But okay, so what we have is detailed. So yeah, this is let's see. You know what? I'm not going to do the calculations now. I will do a video tomorrow. So let's see how Polymarket does. Oh wait, that's that's some other market. It beats the shit out of me which one it is. That's not Poly, that's Kalshi. I don't know these damn things. So don't trust this shit, okay? Just watch the videos, watch what I provide you. Don't trust Kalshi or Polymarket because they suck, okay? Because people putting money down on this don't know a goddamn thing about this stuff. This one I think is going to be close. Election day votes, we could change it, but this is looking good. So let's see. Let's go back to that. It said 80% in. We can find that out really quick. So all we have to do is take 56,649, divide that by divide that by 79,861. Nope, it's 71% turnout. Still 71% turnout nonetheless. It's a lot. So let me get the summaries here. So this is Polk County, we still have not heard anything from Polk. I'm going to put these off to the side now. We do not need these turnout reports anymore. Yeah, Enite is just, oh, there they are. They're finally there. See, Polk County will have a map, so that is nice. Just nothing reporting from Polk. Expect to, you know what? I was going to say expect the Republican to win in Polk, and I still think that's the case in 51. It might be closer than we think. All right, so now we're waiting for Election Day. Let's see. There's essentially a 3,000 vote gap. Let's go back to the quick turnout. Even though I said we're not going to go back to it. This could be close. This could be really close in 14. But what I want to do. Okay, so there are a few things I want to do here. Let's look at this Republican number. So this is vote by mail, 16,794. Oops. Because now it's going to take a little bit of time for the other stuff to come up. Where is the, okay. I'm just kind of like flipping tabs left and right here. So this is what we need to look at. As you can see, and I'm just going to put it in my little calculator here. 16,790 or no, I'm not going to do it now, but let's just, okay. Reset. Let's look at this. Her total vote by mail was 17,941. Okay. So that's only 1,000 over what actually the amount of Republicans that actually turned out. Okay. If we look at her early votes, she had 8,849. Let's look at that. 8,849 to 8,290. So she had just a little bit more votes. Now, here's what I want to make the point of. So you can see in the early voting for the Democrats, let's go back to this result. So we got Brian Nathan here, received 22,843, but only 16,572 Democrats voted. What does that mean? NPAs are going strongly Democratic. Like these numbers down here are almost going like extremely strongly Democratic. 2-1, 2-1 at least, maybe 75% strongly Democratic. Let's see if we got anything coming out of Polk County yet. Hey, you guys need to get Lori Edwards back. I mean, though she wasn't on top of stuff really, but yeah. So that's the number to look at. Like her numbers are barely above. So let's put it this way. She has 26,790. Okay. If we make the assumption right. Okay, wait. Hold on. Got to go back here. Okay, 16794 plus 8290. Okay, 25,048. $25,048. Was it 84? It was 84, I think it was, right? It's not 48. Divided by. So what this means is that 93.6% of the Republican vote is coming from registered Republicans. Okay, so only 6% of that vote. If we go with the logic, and of course it's not perfect logic, but we have to go with methodology here, right? If all Democrats who are registered Democrat vote Democratic and all Republicans vote Republican, what's going to be in the middle? Right now, we're seeing that huge shift over to the Democratic side. As of right now, I think the Democrats are going to win both of these. Okay. So here we go right here. This is a lot closer. This, as I said, 51 probably won't be a win. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. So let's go over to here we go. Okay. So what did I tell you? The Democrat who's Edwin Perez, what did I said? He had to win in these areas, and he's doing well here. This is what he needs to do. Now, Auburndale and Lake Alfred, they pull a lot of the votes, even though Davenport does have a lot of people in it. So, yeah, so this one doesn't surprise me, but I still want to look at what we got here. Let's show detailed report. Is this Polk County? Yep, this is Polk County. Okay. Let's look at raw numbers. Or no, we can't look at raw numbers. Okay, what are these? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is all of Polk County, almost. There's only 2 more precincts reporting, so it's going to be a low turnout election. So she has 8,035 votes. So, wait. Yeah, 8,035 votes. And 7,803 Republicans turned out to vote. That is not a so this shows you how Republican this district is. A lot of this still went to the Democrats. These are huge swings, fellas. This is big. Of course, we have 152 precincts going in 14. Yeah, they called her to winner. They called her to winner because almost all the votes in. Okay, so let's look at this one. John Maples, the Republican, 7,517 votes in. Now, is this Palm Beach? No, this isn't Palm Beach. Let me figure out. I got my tabs all over the damn place in this thing. Okay. This is Palm Beach. Okay. $7,313. Wow. Again, barely. So 7,313 registered Republicans voted in early voting and vote by mail. He only received 7,500. So he's literally only 304 or no, 204 votes ahead of the registered Republicans. So what does this mean? This means that almost all of this of John Maples' votes are coming from registered Republicans. Everyone else is voting Democratic. And we really now have to consider. I don't give a shit what the polls say. You know that. You know that about me. I don't give a shit what the polls say. We really have to consider if Florida is a swing state now. Can the Democrats win in Florida? Can Vindman and I think Jolly, it's going to, well, I mean, we got Demings and Jolly. That'll be a good primary. But Vindman, I think, is definitely the best candidate for the U.S. Senate. I mean, we're really, okay, let me go ahead. I mean, we're really at a situation. So let me go ahead and show you the logic here. Okay, so that means 7,000. If we make the assumption that all registered Republicans voted for voted for the Republican, that means out of the 7,517, 7,313 voted for the Republican, right? That's only a 204 vote difference. Now, if we go back to our summary here, if we look at the non-party affiliated and the NPAs here, we're basically saying that all of these votes went to the Democrats. All of these votes, with the exception of 204 of them. So what are you looking at? 2,000, 26, 28, 2850, 29, 30, 31, 50. Okay. So you're talking about out of 200, you're talking about like nearly 95% of NPAs are going that way. Now, here's the interesting thing. You know that not all Republicans voted for the Republican, right? You know that NPA number, non-party affiliated number, is going to be larger. So that means, again, we have another situation where a lot of Republicans voted for the Democrat, possibly. It's not necessarily a District 1 situation. Could be by the end of the night. Okay, I'm just trying to get... Yeah, this one's done. That's impressive. Crap. Let me see. I was looking for tickets to the White Sox Blue Jays game in a few weeks from now. My two favorite teams playing against each other at Comiskey or whatever, whatever the hell it's called now. Okay, so let's go ahead and... What was I doing here? Oh, I was looking for the... Florida State House 51. What did it do in the last election? This isn't that far off the last election. The last general election, it went 56.9% for the Republicans. So this one isn't as much of a swing. It'll be interesting to see what the vote composition is. And we got a lot of precincts in these to be counted. So now the waiting game begins. But I don't think won't be as long as like the Illinois race that we had. Okay. So yeah, like I said, we'll see if I do many more live streams from this point forward. I will. It's just going to be a very slow time now. If you want to have a super chat, please go ahead and feel free. It helps out the channel as well. Gives me more motivation to actually do this. So yeah, let's see what Polymarket says right now, or whatever, Kashi Kadushi, or whatever the hell that other one is. Oh, see, it's going down. Gee, I wonder why it's going down. Let's see what this one's doing. Oh, all of a sudden it flips to the Democrats. Don't trust these markets, people. Just don't trust these damn markets. Oh, can we see how the precinct that Mar-a-Lago is in? No, they don't have... Palm Beach doesn't have any maps. But I can look at precincts probably, right? No, because Palm Beach sucks. I mean, even ever since what's it called? Um, so it's ever since 2000, Palm Beach still sucks. See, so you still have partially vote by mail because of course ballots came in today. Yeah, so this isn't much of a swing. That one's only a 2% swing. Hold on, I'm gonna do something really quick. I'm gonna turn on the air because it's getting warm in here. And I know I can't be gone that long because if I'm not on here for 10 seconds, people will flock away. Yeah, so keep an eye on these. I think Democrats are in a great position in I mean, I think Democrats are basically they've won 87. Okay. I just love these markets. Let's see, are they losing confidence here? No, not too much. Like who comes up with these things? Like what I find really hysterical, I don't see the poly market one, but what I find extremely hysterical is like this election cycle, if you've been watching my live streams, they've been way more wrong than they've been right. So how no House district or yeah, House district 51 is +6. House district 51 is +6. Currently, this is +5. This is a +5 district now. If anyone's asking where I'm seeing this, just go to the Supervisor of Election websites. And okay, we got that's it. That's done. Oh, but that's recount area. I mean, there's only 3 more precincts left. They just did their whole election day dump. Oh, we're in recount area. That's official recount. But Republicans are going to need a lot to win that recount. Okay, we still have 4 precincts coming in. And we still have some vote by mail ballots, but here's the thing, vote by mail are going to go Democratic, right? Look at the vote by mail right here. Any vote by mail that's still outstanding is going to go Democratic. So, looks like Democrats are going to get 2 out of 3 tonight. And we got, or no, that's Polk County. I thought it was Palm Beach. And of course, Palm Beach is last because they're Palm Beach. Let's look at the maps. Hey, Matt, I see in the chat. Great to see you. So we do have, okay, let's look at we do have Republican precincts that are only partially reporting. Okay, so these will make it closer. let's go to here, okay? So those are the 3 precincts reporting here. So you can see up towards Lutz here, you can see these are very Republican. Okay, let's go to the results. 66% for Rubio, 69% for Rubio, 64%. Those are the ones that are kind of outstanding, right? And you got this one over here, 50-50. So it's not over yet. It is not over yet. Oh, what? All of a sudden you have him win in at 98%? Oh, geez. Why do you markets keep on friggin' changing? I love that they suck at this. Has that gone up? I didn't think it was 58 before. I thought it was 57 something. Now maybe it was 58. Oops. Ah, crap. There we go. No, if there are any billionaires voting in this election tonight, it's in the one that's going to go the most Democratic. It's going to be in House District 87. She's got all old money down there, right along here. That's all old money. Okay, let's go back to the results. Okay, so this one's a nail biter. State House 51 is not +9. State House 51 is +5. R +5 is State House. It's R +5. You see, or is this it? No. There, 54.83 R +5. Well, they haven't officially flipped any yet. You got to realize it takes time to count votes, right? Nothing from yeah, I mean the Polk County one's done. I need to just put that way over there. While we're waiting for Palm Beach to report. I mean, that's a huge thing too. So let me see how many Republicans voted on election day here. Okay, Republicans. 11,753 Republicans. So again, just barely over that mark. Karen, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yes. Recaps. So let's just go for oh, come on. I was signed in. Why do you think? Oh. I'll give you a recap in a second as soon as Decision Desk decides to put me back in, because this is the easiest thing to look at. State Senate District 14, the state Senate district that was held by the current lieutenant governor, which is the reason it's now open, is neck and neck and currently in official recount range. 4 precincts are still left to count. 3 of them very Republican. 1 of them a 50-50 precinct. In State House District 51, the Republican won. This is only a little bit of a swing, only about a 2% swing over to the Democrats. Not huge, but it is a swing nonetheless. What's going to be most important to see out of this election is to see how many registered Republicans voted in it and see if we had a shift going over. And in the state house race, all of a sudden that one got a lot tighter. Whoa. So, but it's out of recount range where the Democrat wins. Let's go over here. Oh, that's over. Emily Gregory won. So there you go. There's the recounts. 155 of 156 precincts. That's a close one, but that shows how much election day matters, right? So many Democrats are focused on early vote and vote by mail. That percentage went from 58 to 51. That's why you got to count on election day. But Democrats win. House District 87. Yeah. Now we're I think, could these flip? Could the Democrat lose the lead here? Maybe. Possibly. It's too close. So 87 is going to be a flip. And I don't even remember the last time a Democrat won 87. I have to message someone. Because, see, one of the things about that district, it was very much a traditional Republican district. Rich Republicans who moved down to Florida, obviously bought the rich homes there and stuff like that. So, yeah. So 87's done. 87, still waiting for these last few. It's a close one, but it's a win. Let me see another thing. Okay, and for all other states out there watching tonight, count votes as fast as this, please. If Florida can do it, if Florida can do it at any place, then any other state should be able to count that fast too. Now, the one thing I'm looking at is the last election results. Okay, 96,000. So this is about a third of the results. This is about a third of what we'll see. Well, no, that was presidential election year. Florida can be... So this is about 40% of what we should see on election day. That's good. Everything hangs on these 4 precincts right now. Yes, 87 is the Mar-a-Lago district. And unfortunately, they don't, because it's Palm Beach, and Palm Beach is just really, really bad at this. They don't have a map. They don't have precincts. I guess if I download a precinct report, summary by party, summary by... No, that I can't even get precinct reports if I download them, which sucks. So... So, yeah, I mean, 87, as soon as that came in, 87 won. There's only like one precinct. It's not going to be enough. Yes, Palm Beach cost score. All right. So 14. So let's see how, I'm kind of interested to see how the betting markets did on here. Oh, wait, you're all saying that the Republican was going to win. And then the Democrat all of a sudden, you should have, I mean, like 81%, 80%, anyone that has like any ounce of a brain cell that knows Florida politics knows that this was going to be a close race. Anyone saying that was going to be this off, they deserve to lose their money, and I'm so glad that they are. Yeah, this is the one we're waiting on now. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Florida has screwed up so much that the Democrats in Florida have screwed up so much that it's great that these wins have happened, but in the grand scheme of things, they're insignificant. I mean, they literally are insignificant wins. I don't even know if the Florida legislature is in. I think they already sine died. I'm not sure. So it's like these, unless there's some special session, which I think there might be for the redistricting and stuff. Um, these are basically useless seats. So just waiting for this. Yeah, so I'm messaging with somebody right now. Might have seen him on my live stream. Matt knows him, Kartik Krishnaiyer, and I asked him. I was like, when was the last time this seat even went seat 87? When was the last time it even went Democratic? And he's thinking like the seat like last time was 1982, because it was part of what was called the Republican horseshoe. The Republican horseshoe in Florida went from like South Florida, went up to Orlando, cut over to Pinellas County, and then went down to Southwest. That was known as the Republican horseshoe. So we still don't have anything in those last few precincts. Now, House District 87 is, I believe, is a significant swing. So that's 51. So let me see. Yeah, I mean the Republican who ran, Mike Caruso, in, well, let me look at 24. He won 59.5% of the votes. The Democrat won 40.5%. Okay. So that's a huge, huge thing. Good old Bill Young days. What do you think of Bill Young? Am I the only one who thought that he literally was one of the members of Congress who just sucked the most oxygen? Like, did he do anything? Maybe he did in Pinellas County. I mean, that's, people in Pinellas let me know, but it's like Bill Young, did he? And I know people are Bill Young fans. I know that, but like, did he do anything? Like, really? Or was he just there? Which, I mean, doesn't matter now because most of the members of Congress are just there anyway. All right, so District 14 is close. Because what I'm afraid of as a Democratic supporter, I'm still considering myself an independent, as a Democratic supporter and voter, I'm afraid those four precincts can slightly flip it over to the Republican side. Slightly. Could be enough. Let's see how many. Let's go to our map. So he was just one of those silent workers in Congress. So let's look at these precincts that we have. We have 3,283 votes. It's not a small amount. 3,758. 2,320. So we're not talking about insignificant precincts. Okay. And then 4,197, which is the 50-50 one. This one should go strongly Democrat. So this precinct here, if we go back to our map of Hillsborough County, it might be this precinct here, 434, that actually is what saves us here for the Democrats. That's kind of interesting because that gets into Oldsmar and gets into the more Republican area. I used to live like right here. I literally used to live in this apartment building right here. Literally used to live there. All right. Yeah, so now we're just at a wait. But the one state house seat in and of itself is an impressive win. Again, the Republicans lost big time there. Yes, I doxed myself from God. When did I live there? I lived there in 1994. So I doxed myself. If you go back in time and go, 20 or what, 32 years, yeah, you'll find me there. It's a lot thinner back then too. All right, so yeah, it's a matter of just waiting for these. Now, another thing too is they're still saying that vote by mail is partially counted, which that does not surprise me. My guess is that all of these will have. Well, no, actually, Polk County has so Polk County is now finished. Okay. So the fact that vote by mail is partially counted means that the Democrats still have a chance to win this. Actually, we can see how many votes are left. I didn't even think about that because hold on a second. Let me get a new. I didn't even think about that. Time to get out the new. Okay, I got to do some work here, guys. So I have a feeling these last four can take a bit. So let's get some work here, figure out what's going on, and so on. So I don't think I can do precinct and party, but I can at least figure out what votes are remaining. So like precinct, can you just do it by precinct? I don't necessarily care about type. Or is this total? Okay, this is total. No, this is Palm Beach. What am I doing here? Precinct and type. This is total. Okay. So. I'm just going to reload this. And in the chat, just let me know if they... Is there an update? I don't see an update. Oh, there it is. Okay, what precinct is remaining? I was gonna say, just tell me if you see that. So, oh, and the one that's remaining is the most democratic of them all. Oh, 87's determined a while ago. This is going to be a Democratic win. They're going to have a recount. Now see, if we're going to see how vote tampering happens, maybe the Republicans are going to do it in a recount here. Okay, so let's see. This precinct 434. So, precinct 434 has 622 ballots cast. Jeez, I got too many tabs. Holy crap. 622. So there's 622 ballots. In order for this thing to be, oh, that's a nice round number, 40,000. In order for this thing to be like, for the Republican to take the lead, they're going to need 2 out of 3 of, they're going to have to win basically 66% in a precinct that went for hold on. In a precinct that won for Kamala Harris and Marcus L. Powell, basically 50-50. And with Democrat won in recount, but Democrat has won this. And based on, well, let's see, they're still saying partially vote by mail. Those are going to be much more Democratic. That's going to be where the Democrats have some strength. One thing to keep of note, even though it was the total opposite, if we go back and look at, is this the Palm Beach one? If we look at the Palm Beach one, what I think is really interesting is we did have a big discrepancy in election day and vote by mail. But these are somewhat closer. So, yeah, so this is a great result for the Democrats. It is it's within 1%. So in Florida, law is within 1%, automatic recount. So there will be a recount. Okay, because even if Tom Cow won all 600 votes, it would still, and she took the lead, all 662 votes that are remaining in that precinct, which she won't, it's still in recount territory. So, again, I'm just going to go ahead and say it while people are here. This website that I'm looking at, showing you this stuff, this is my website. I am in the process, and this is one of the reasons why next few months I probably won't be doing a lot more. I've been developing a program to do data analytics for kind of data analytics for people running for office, for example. And I just started it over the last few days, so I'm doing a lot of statistical analysis and other things here to really give candidates an idea of what they want. So if you're a candidate running, this will be available in 2027. It won't be available now. But and I'm only working on Florida now because it's a state I know, there might be a version of this available that doesn't have the actual analytics to it, that might just be the results and maybe the voter registration balance. That will be available to everyone, but it would be a subscription fee. So I'm looking at this will probably, if you want the baseline thing where you can filter through state house, state senate districts hopefully at the national level. I don't want to have it available until we have something for national level, probably be $9.99 per month, or maybe it's going to be something per year. So for all of those who are wondering about that, yeah, that is um, this is something I'm creating right now. All right, let's go back to yeah. I mean, now we're in recount territory, regardless. And my guess is that gap will probably increase to like 600 for the Democrats. I don't know how many vote by mail are still left. There's hardly going to be any. Usually, if you look at vote by mail, it just flatlines in the last few days. But this is recount territory. So currently, as of right now, remember on my video that I talked about today, if you didn't watch that video, go ahead and watch it. It goes more into detail about the district. Brian, thank you very much for the super chat. This is awesome, Dave. So excited for the website. Here's my down payment. Thank you very much. I don't think that I'm going to have it. I mean, right, it's building the website, but then there's going to be a bunch of data collection. And I'm going to be working to make it that we're building something, or I'm building something. I'm a one-man team. Like, I've done this. I haven't had anyone help. Is to really be the true data hub of elections. Okay. I don't think that Target Smart or other things are really, I think they're kind of remedial in their approaches, elementary. So I want to provide something that gives candidates the best tools. Eventually be able to bring in voter files and do a lot of other stuff. No, Trump wasn't plus 20 in District 87. Well, okay, his margin was plus 20. So yeah, if you want to talk about just his margin, it was plus 20. I am going to just wait to see if this last precinct comes in. We'll wait for the election day numbers to come in. But this is huge for Democrats. If you're a Democrat, you're looking at today and you're saying, hey, well, okay, so let's back up here. All right. So I do truly believe that we now have to say that Florida is slight Republican. I think we have to be in that frame of mind now. Florida is going to be slight Republican. I mean, and ask people. So I don't know why, but thank you for the Belgian flags. I like Belgium. Though I've only driven through Belgium. Yay, Belgium. Anyway, so we have to start talking about that, because in other states like Virginia, you had one in Georgia that didn't go the way that the Democrats wanted, but the Georgia numbers have looked really good throughout. Florida is the one state that has constantly had impressive wins for the Democrats in these special elections. And we're not just talking about like they're all in one area, right? We're talking about the Panhandle all the way down now to Palm Beach County. We're talking about the Tampa area. We're talking about a lot of places. So, like Pinellas County, could we start seeing some inroads there? That's possible. We're really at a point where the Democrats can possibly win in Florida. And if you ask anyone who knows Florida politics, I've been involved with Florida politics since 1991. If you ask anyone, I am the biggest naysayer of Florida politics. I am the one who has said for years, because my models kept saying Democrats are going to lose, right? And people hated me for that, but it was what it was, and it was correct. I'm the biggest naysayer. Now, you still have one problem. The Florida Democratic Party. They are the key to this. They know how to grab defeat from the jaws of victory. They are the best at that. That's where it's going to be a little bit harder for the Democrats. But if David Jolly runs his own campaign, I mean, it could be Demings, it could be Jolly. We don't know yet. Vindman is who I think is the front runner for the U.S. Senate. If Demings or Jolly run things smart, do not connect with the Democratic Party. This is where I think maybe somebody like David Jolly's a little bit better, because he is a former Republican. He's not going to have a lot of those Democratic consultants who have totally screwed up in Florida time after time after time again. He's not going to have them on his side. So that's a good thing. That's actually a good thing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for this last precinct, and then we're going to go ahead and, because I want to see how close it gets. But, I mean, we're talking about wins, and we're talking about big shifts in the Panhandle. We're talking about, like, even Randy Fine, when he won that special election, which unfortunately now people nationwide know who this idiot is. In that situation, he mostly won Republican votes. In a state that is increasingly becoming nonpartisan affiliated voting, I mean, like, the people who are registering as non-party affiliates, you're starting to see them shift back to Democrats heavily. Now, no one will call 14. 14 will not be called tonight because it's an automatic recount area. And regardless of what happens, it's going to be an automatic recall area. I just kind of want to see where it's going to be when we talk about automatic recall, but no one's going to call it tonight. So even if you go over, I don't think they're gonna, because it would be kind of dumb to do it. But yeah, I mean, they don't have anyone here. It's an automatic recount. You usually don't call, especially now, especially after Florida in 2020, nobody calls if there's going to be a recount. But the numbers look good. This was a big win, 87. So we're going to just wait for this one Democratic precinct to come in. And then tomorrow I'll do an analysis of this. Like I said, I probably won't be doing, I don't know how much I'll be doing. And as I told you, the reason why I don't know how much I'll be doing is, besides doing my history channel. So if you like election history, please go to just Google or look in the search bar, election history. That's my channel. I just uploaded a video about the electoral history of Nelson Rockefeller. Okay, so you can go ahead and check that out. But I'm mostly working on this right now, right? So it's this thing is taking up a lot of my time, and so yeah. So this is taking up a lot of my time right now. Now, I am kind of interested, while we are waiting for the one precinct, I do want to see maybe how some of these key precincts that I was talking about, how they actually might have looked. So I was talking about, if we go back to State Senate District 14, remember, I was saying that these were the precincts that the Democrats needed to win, right? These were the key because this is what the voter registration balance is. But if you look at what DeSantis got, see how red that is? These were the ones that the Democrats needed to win. Now, let's go to the map here. And I wonder if you click on it, if it will do anything. So let's look at this. That's precinct. So this is, here you go. So this is a perfect precinct. 422. It was in 2024, it went to the Republicans slightly, or in 2022, excuse me, and it went to the Republicans a little bit more in 2024. If you look at it, the voter registration balance is almost, there are some Democrats, but there are more Republicans. That's a graphic I'm going to have to change because it does look like it's showing less Republicans. See, like I said, I'm building this program right now. I'm only on the 4th or 5th day of doing it. So anyway, but anyways, 422, let's look at that. So 422, the results are correct. Very, very close. 422, 203 to 180. Okay. Let's just go here. Because I don't want to do math in my head today. So you see 53, 47. So it's kind of flipped the other way. Not a huge amount. But let's look at some of these other ones. Let's look at this one here, Hillsborough County 519. About 54% for Trump. And what do we have? 519? 54% for Trump. 50% for Brian Nathan. Okay. Now it's going to mess with me whenever people have two first names as their name. I'll end up calling them Nathan Bryan or Brian Nathan. I know that's going to happen. Yeah. So let's go back. Let's see if we're, what's the one that we're waiting on? 434. Wait, here's 430. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just waiting for the election days. Totals on 434. That's it. That's the only one we're waiting on right now. I mean, this really does change things. I think this really does change things in the state of Florida. I do believe that now we're talking about Florida being a significantly more competitive state, and we have to keep an eye on it. Now, this, just because Florida might actually be a little bit stronger, it doesn't mean necessarily that that strength is going to flow into other states, because one of the things we can talk about are the blue waves that have come in years like 2018, for example. It stopped in Florida, right? It was predictable, but I don't want to sound like Kyle Kalinske. Now, and I say that because I want to tell you the truth. I do feel Kyle Kalinske. He's not being recommended on my YouTube anymore, thank God and stuff. Maybe because I unsubscribed to his channel. He's getting into either like only talking about YouTubers, or he's getting into conspiracy world, like real crazy conspiracy world, right? I'm starting to think though. I'll dip my toe, even though I'm using my finger. I'll dip my toe into the conspiracy world. The Republicans have been increasing the number of registered Republicans in the state of Florida, but they're not turning out. Are these registration numbers like real? Because we just keep on seeing more and more and more and more Republicans register and the Republican number go up. But all of these special election results that we're seeing are just not reflecting an increase in Republican registration. And we're talking about throughout the state too, right? Again, we're talking about from Pensacola all the way down to Palm Beach and a bunch of districts in between. And now Kyle Kalinske, I don't like him anymore. He's gone. He's gone. As they say on Ghostbusters, Ray's gone bye bye Egon. He's gone a little bit too loony for me. I agree with his politics, but he's just gone a little bit too loony. Anyway, I mean, that's the question to ask. Are these Republican registration numbers, are they legit? I think that's a real question to ask. And see, there is no, well, maybe not really. I mean, I guess in some counties you can make the argument of everyone here is an elected Republican, so therefore registering as a Republican allows me to vote in the primaries because the Democrats are so bad in Florida they don't have anybody run. You have that argument, but most new Florida voters, they don't know a damn thing about Florida politics, right? Florida is probably, along with Nevada, Florida is probably the most transient political group that there is. Like the group that's like extremely far removed from politics. So I don't think that is going to be the case. But I wonder, like, I really wonder, because again, it hasn't been just a one county phenomenon. Oh, we can look at the county here. And Annette Taddeo, who was a state senator and she ran for Congress and stuff like that, she ran for lieutenant governor and stuff. She talked about there being voter registration issues a number of years ago. Annette Taddeo did. And, you know, I wasn't looking much into it, but now we have to ask ourselves, are the Republicans fudging the voter registration numbers? I don't know. It's just so, something's not adding up. Okay, it's like that one guy that, I mean, if any of you watch, I don't remember his name, but the guy Piker is his name, I think is his last name, when he was talking about honey, he's like, there's some shady shit going on there. That's how I feel with Florida's Republican registration. There's some shady shit going on there. That's how I feel. I voted for no, my first vote wasn't for Lawton Childs because I voted first in 1992. So my first ever vote was for Bill Clinton in the primary in 1992. First ever vote. Lived in Metro West in Orange County. And I voted for Bill Clinton because my man Tom Harkin, who I was actually working for in Orange County, he dropped out. No, not Hassan Piker or Mark Pilar. That's her, or Pillar or Pilar. That's it. Not Piker. No, not the Hassan Piker. The Mark, right. There's some shady shit going on with Honey, and he was right. Something just feels wrong. And it hasn't been, granted, Republicans have done well. It just has not felt right with the voter registration in Florida for a while. There's been something that just seems off. I'm just saying, there just seems to be things that are off. I mean, like here in the state of Illinois, you pick a Democratic or Republican ballot. I picked a Republican ballot back in 2012 here in Illinois. That's the only Republican primary that I've ever voted in. And then that was because you picked the ballot for the primary. And that was only because I voted for Mitt Romney because I thought Mitt Romney would be the worst person to run against Barack Obama. Now, most people think that he was going to be the best to run against Barack Obama. I'm like, he's a businessman that has a elevator in his garage and puts his dog on the top of his car. He's going to lose. Um, so yeah. Well, we won't be able to. I mean, we won't be able to see what the Latino swing is going to be in Florida tonight. That takes a lot more digging into the data and seeing, which, eventually when I have this ready, that might be something that's available. But again, this dashboard is mostly going to be made for people who are running for public office and need the analytical data to do that. So I voted for Taft. He was big man. Funny. Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting for this one last precinct. Man, I don't even know why, to be honest. It's going to be recount area. Brian Nathan is going to be ahead. I have a feeling it's going to be ahead by about 500-600 votes. Yeah. But I mean, if there's any state, well, I don't know. I mean, if there's any state that's like Florida, it's Nevada. It's not Texas, because it does seem like to me when people move to Texas, they end up planting their roots in Texas. It's just kind of like Florida is just where people come and go. It's not there. People really don't plant their roots in Florida. So I don't know. Um, but like I said, I do feel the Democrats are in a strong position. Here's the thing: if you're these small wins, because I'm going to tell you this. My guess is, I mean, the 635 of you watching, you already know. You got the news. But I guarantee if the Democrats were smart, man, they would be using this. We won a Republican district that hasn't gone Democratic since the 1980s that Donald Trump lives in. We won it yesterday. That's a perfect fundraiser there. Because people don't want to put their money into possible losing campaigns. They want to put their money into, who they think is going to win. I mean, yes, you do have the people who put their money toward a candidate for like symbolic reasons, but this is like a perfect fundraising thing for the Democrats right now. Yeah, I mean, this is great. Yeah, and out of all states that have shocked me this year, the Virginia general election shocked me. I didn't expect it to be that big. And my models were showing a good win for the Republicans. But that was even bigger than I think. Florida and Georgia have been, and Texas. Florida, Georgia, and Texas have been, I would say, the biggest shocks this year. Because remember, yeah, we had James Talrico win and win by a pretty good amount, but it's at state Senate district in Texas, in District 9, that was, that was really, really impressive. And that kind of gave us the idea that, yeah. No, Mar-a-Lago State House 87. That's this is a state Senate district 14. This is in the Tampa area. Oh, they are talking about it on MS now. It's great. I mean, it's great. and this, I think, changed this really. I mean, I don't want to. It's like I don't want to put too much stock into special elections, but there just comes a point where, well, I know James Talrico was a primary, but he won by a pretty decent amount. It wasn't as close as people thought. Um, yeah, the Georgia, it was those Georgia Public Service Commission races when you knew they were going to win. And then they had that State House 121 or something like that, and a few others that they won. It was what, that State House 121, it was like a 50-50 thing, and they won it. So I don't want to look too much into these special elections. But there comes a point where you got to say, they're all going that way. And let's be honest, okay? Democrats have done well in special elections. Ever since I've been involved with Florida politics, even though I'm not anymore, Democrats have always done a lot better than what people expect in these special elections. But we're talking in Florida, but we're talking about nationwide now. We're not talking about just Florida. So, it's pretty significant. I don't know if I don't know. We'll end this at 2 hours, so I'm going to stay on for another 14 minutes or so. Because for all intents and purposes, everything is done. We now had the Palm Beach race totally finished now. We have, it's still saying partially vote by mail. This one in the Mar-a-Lago district, it is. Yeah, see, I can't get any precincts, which is unfortunate. This, and downloading doesn't give me any precincts, because if we go ahead and look at Mar-a-Lago, let's go ahead and look at 2024 with Mar-a-Lago. I think it's like right around right here. So Donald Trump won the precinct, his own precinct. He received 62.1% of the vote. I'm kind of interested to see how this one goes. I mean, and look at this, like, there in Mar-a-Lago, in his own, let's see what 2022 was. So you see DeSantis won 73.9, Rubio won 70.8. Then 2024 comes. Rick Scott wins 69%. Trump wins 62%. The candidate that does the worst in the precinct that Mar-a-Lago is in is the candidate who literally lives in the precinct where Mar-a-Lago is. That's just crazy. Yeah, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, like, all that. Like I said, I am going to be busy working on this program that you see here for probably a few months. So it means that a lot of my stuff is going to be kind of tied up a little bit. Because, gotta pay bills. So retire early. Thank you for the thumbs up. So thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So somebody says, can we catch up on this? Yes. Let's go over to, I love seeing this. Let's go over to what we have. Okay. So State Senate District 14, located in the Tampa area. This was a vacancy due to Jay Collins, who is now the Lieutenant Governor of Florida, becoming the Lieutenant Governor of Florida. It is a precinct where the Democrats have underperformed, let's say, but there was always the potential for Democrats to do quite well. So if we go over to, let me go over here. If we go over here, we can see that it's always been a very balanced district. 34% Democrat, 34% Republican, 31% independents. So it has been very, very even. But the Republicans seem to always win this thing, win this district, and win these state house districts here too. As of right now, it is very, very close with only one precinct left. This is going to go into an automatic recount. And with that being the case, the Democrat probably looks best to win that recount. But we got to see if anything happens. We got to see if the Republicans are going to pull any shenanigans. Then we have the State House 51 district, one that was expected to go Republican. And it didn't shift too much to the Democrats, but it shifted a little nonetheless, about 2% of a shift. But the Republicans won this one. The State House seat is around Davenport, Auburndale, Lake Alfred, Haines City, stuff like this. But this was expected to be a Republican win. Now, let's go over to State House 87. This is the one you're probably hearing about. This is the one where Mar-a-Lago is located. And this is a state house district. And all the state house districts along the coast have always been state house districts where Democrats have hoped to win. So you can see this Republican strip all the way down the eastern side of the Intercoastal Waterway right here. You see a lot of these go into Republican districts. And there's a lot of times that just this strip right here goes into a state house district, and then all of a sudden the Democrats, the Democrats just can never win here. So let me get down to, I'm in the state Senate. That might explain things. So here, this is the district. As you can see, it's much more Republican up here. We don't have precinct results from this district, so we do not know what's going on. But the Democrat won. This is a district, and I think it's important to know, this is a district that the Democrats probably have not won since the 1980s, because back in the 1970s and 1980s, this was old-time Republican money, and it kind of has been throughout. It's just been this old-time traditional conservative Republican money. Now it's flipped, and this is a big one. So that's where we are. Democrats have won one. They have lost one, but the one they lost, they were expected to lose. The question was, how close could they get? And to tell you the truth, being at 54 to 45, that's close. And then the state Senate one, it's extremely close. We're waiting on the result here for the last precinct, but it's going to go into recounts. It's just going to go into recounts. There's no question about it. So that's the recap of what we have. Wayman, thank you very much for the super chat. Trump is still talking the talk, but can't help but think he knows the midterms are looking really, really rough, and he's heading for the lame duck phase. I'm just a little bit worried we're not going to have the midterms. Okay. Steve Bannon came out today or yesterday, said what's happening with TSA and ICE is a dry run for the midterms. Think of that what you may, but that's what he said. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, so Liquefied Pizzas, nice name, has a very good point. If the Republican wasn't a carpetbagger here in Senate District 14, they probably would have won. Here we go. Just got the update. All right, so there we go. Everything's done. This goes automatic recount. And so a little under 600 votes is the difference. So we're in automatic recount territory. And it's done. So all the vote by mail is reported. Everything's reported. All the precincts, everything. This is the unofficial final result. I think it's going to be very hard. I think it's going to be hard in a recount for the Republicans to find those 600 votes. Okay. The only thing that I think that they might do is try to pull some provisionals out their ass. But you're not going to pull 600 provisionals. And if this does flip over to the Republican side, something very fishy is going on. So this is true. Now, Josie Tomkow, so the liquefied pizza mentioned that like she's a carpetbagger. Yes, she's from the state house district that's having the special election 51 over in Polk County. That's where she's from. This district's in Hillsborough County and the western side of Hillsborough County. The district she came from was the eastern side of Polk County. So it's insane. So Rennie, thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks, Dave. Voting Trend Channel. Trump vote by mail doesn't want you to be able to. Rich, I mean, he did vote by mail, right? And well, wasn't enough for him, right? And retire early. Thank you very much for the super chat as well. We're gonna go ahead and close out in 5 minutes. We'll round it off at the 2 hour mark. But we will finish in a few since that's the case. Oh, I'm sure Trump will complain about vote by mail. You know, my word to Trump is, try harder, right? I want to find just 408 votes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's 408 votes. I don't know why I was saying 600. It's 408 votes. I don't see them finding them anywhere, like finding them there. Now I'm gonna see, because that doesn't seem to be as strong as I thought it was going to be. Oops, maps. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this looks good. Great night for the Democrats. Again, the question, I mean, they called it, but it's still in recount territory. So you shouldn't call something that goes into automatic recount. That's just political malpractice. But that being said, it would, after the recounts, it's going to take a lot. It really is. I mean, God, when was the last time? And if Matt's still on, you might know, even though you're in Pinellas County, right? And I saw a few people in here from Tampa. When was the last time a state senator represented northern and northwestern Hillsborough County? I mean, that might have been since like 1980s again. I mean, we are talking about some big ones. Yeah, it looks like Kashai or Kalshi or whatever. Yep. What did I tell you? Look at them. They're at 90%. They're at 98. Okay, when was this? March 24th. Today, 10 a.m. 98.12. See, this is the thing. If you have people that don't know a damn thing about voting behavior and voting trends and don't know anything about the state, they're going to make stupid bets. So I mean, this one was really easy. They didn't even have the markets on that. Look at this one. Right? I love it. I love seeing these markets absolutely crash and burn. But it will be interesting to look at the election analyses afterwards and seeing what we have. Oh, my web camera always does this. It gets blurry and stuff. Hey, who cares? I'm just a little box in the corner anyway. I mean, 2 out of 3, I think, is excellent. Yeah. I mean, because again, the 51 we weren't going to win anyway. Something raw. I can't see the rest of the name, but something random. I see it. Thank you very much for the super chat. This avoided recount, baby. It's not less than 0.5. Is it 0.51? Because it's actually 0.5%. Wait, is it? Okay, so like, so I guess they don't. Okay, you have to get into the third. So I mean, we're talking about like a vote or two might have put this out of recount. Really? I mean, provisionals lean wherever. I mean, it depends on the district, right? My guess is in this district, provisionals would lean more Democratic. That's my guess. I mean, that's okay. So it is out of recount. As I just saw this, I'm like, this is recount, but it looks like it tipped one way compared to the other way. Okay, so 3 wins. So I guess you got to get okay. Do this. As I am just kind of interested. Okay. Okay, I don't know. Because what I just see, okay, what I see right now, the difference with these votes, it says that the percentage difference is 5.09%. Oh yeah, so that put it on a recount, 5.09% gap. Duh, I'm thinking the other way. So barely. So you had to get into the next 5.09. Or it's actually 5.1%. Or no, excuse me, 0.5, excuse me. It's late, it's only 7:30 and it's already late for me. So yeah, this is barely. So yeah, that's technically not going to be a recount. Wow. Okay, this is awesome. Yeah. So it's 0.51 because it was like 0.5098 or something. So that's it. Um yeah, this this was a great night for the Democrats. Again, as I've been saying, I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Where is where's the so good 2 wins for the Democrats tonight. So though I'm going to be honest with you, I thought the state Senate District 14 might have had a little bit of a bigger Democratic gap, but hey, that's still good. That's still a good swing. Um, all right, so we're gonna sign off in a second. Anyone want to make any comments or anything about tonight? Because I think tonight was a huge night for Democrats. I think tonight is potentially one of the most important nights because in other states we've been seeing Democrats kind of fall off in these special elections. There have been some that haven't been that great. There was a state house race in Georgia, I think it was, that didn't look that great. There was another one, I don't remember, but nothing's going wrong in Florida. The only thing is the Florida Democratic Party will somehow screw it up. But another thing I want to mention too, and I think people do not realize this when they think of states like Florida, Iowa. I don't want to put Ohio there. Other states. Electoral results are not static. They're not permanent. They're ebbs and flows. Okay. 1 year, back in the day, Iowa was a very purple state. Okay. Okay, here's something if you didn't know. Back in 1941, the Democrats had every single House and Senate seats in the Arizona legislature. They had all the elected officials and every single state house and every single state Senate seat. Go ahead and look it up. Things change over time, right? Just, you know, what, 15 years later, or maybe a little, 15, 16, 17 years later, get Barry Goldwater, you get the Republicans, things change, right? Don't think of this as being, oh, Florida's a red state because, therefore it's got to be red all the time. No. Elections and things change. People die, other people move in, the issues change, and so on. But this was huge. All right. When's the next special election primary? I don't know. I mean, I was doing this one specifically because it's Florida. It's a state I know very, 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 very well. I wouldn't brag. Well, screw it. I'm going to brag. I think I know more about Florida electoral precinct electoral history than probably most people out there. Ask me to do a video about North Carolina, I'll be lost. I mean, honestly. Karen, thank you very much. What were the swings? I got to calculate the swings. I have to look back at the old results. I'm not sure right off the bat. I think I will probably do a video tomorrow, kind of recapping this because I think this is big. I think that Vindman and Jolly. Yeah, Jolly is the nominee. Okay, Jolly is in the MSNBC crowd. MSNBC crowds don't necessarily win primaries. Demings can win. Jerry Demings, former sheriff and Orange County mayor, he can win. Okay, I don't think we should be looking at Jolly as the definite winner of that Democratic primary. I do think Vindman is the best. So someone mentioned the Hungarian elections and stuff. Yes, if there are any live streams coming in the future, it's probably going to be more based on international elections. So the Hungarian elections on the 12th. There are Indian state elections on the 9th of April that I thought about delving into, learning a little bit more about India. The Bulgarian parliamentary election is on the 19th of April. And then May 7th, we have the UK local elections, Scottish Parliament, stuff like that. I want to do that. Georgia has some runoffs, and so does Mississippi. But I think they're primary runoffs. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of a dead time right now. So there's not much really going on at this point. The Terrebonne riding in Quebec, I don't know when they are having that special election. I don't remember. So actually anything that comes now, it's going to just be more international. So yeah. Make a video about Talarico's chances. I already did that a week and a half ago, when talking about the balance of Congress and the U.S. Senate. I think the Democrats are. I look at it this way. I don't know if Democrats should necessarily be enthusiastic about tonight, but I definitely think Republicans should worry. It's election results like this that Republicans need to decide if they're going to stand the sinking ship or not. That's it. Because unfortunately for Democrats, with the exception of a few, Democrats don't win, Republicans lose, and it just happens that the Democrats are there to pick up the pieces, right? Rarely do we see people like Bill Clinton and Barack Obama who actually go out there to win. It's usually something falls into the lap of a Democrat because the Republican was so bad. Okay. Raphael Warnock. I mean, I like Raphael Warnock, but had he not been against Herschel Walker, right, he could have lost that race. Okay. So, it was the Republicans who really lost that. Brian Kemp were there and running in that election. Chances are Kemp would have been the senator there. So it is just what it is. All right. With that being the case, um, we're gonna end tonight. I don't know when the next live stream will be. Like I said, there's a bit of a break right now, and I want to make sure that I'm not coming up here for every little tiny election. I want to make sure that there are elections that are important, and I want to delve into international elections. I've really come to the point as far as my viewership are really people. I do get a lot of people from around the world who really do watch this, and I think my channel is more for election nerds, I would say, like myself and others, than they are for the general public. So yeah. All right. So if you want to support the channel, I got a Patreon. Please go to my Patreon. You can go ahead and become a Patreon member there. You can become a member here. Um, and yeah, support the channel. It really gives me more incentive to do it. If you like election history, just go ahead and go up into the search bar, look for election history in the search bar here on YouTube. I do a channel about election history. Just did a video about Nelson Rockefeller and his electoral history and all. All right. So with that being the case, thank you all very much. I will see you in